I had 4 fucking cats in my house because my wife was turning into crazy cat lady. And believe me, it was just because I finally put my pussy foot down that it stopped at 4. It started with 1, which is fine. And then she decides to get another one, and it's a female, and one's a male, and it's not fixed. Hello. There's kittens all over the place. We want to give the kittens away, so we start giving away, and she wants to keep one. And I pussy out. And then she decides that she can't decide between 2, so she keeps 2. Then they grow up into cats, and before you know it, I have 4 cats. I sent away for one of those cat boxes with the motor that, like, rakes the thing each time they come in.
Not too annoying.
The thing was running like a refinery constantly, all night long. All you'd hear. And it would put it in a bag.
It's just mining poop
shit. I was mining cat shit.
Poop shit, Jesus.
Just mining cat shit 24 hours a day in the middle of the night. And I was the one that had to attend to the cat box. It was my job. Fucking
Anthony had chores.
I had chores.
Anthony had chores.
I had chores. Big radio star.
A grown man that was like setting the radio world on fire had chores.
You know, would carpool. He'd drop me off at my house. I'd be like, you know, dude, what a show today. We got an interview coming up. We're doing this. We're doing that. It's, you know, top of the world, man. We're going to fucking go places. He'd drop me off. Well, I guess you forgot where the vacuum was. No, it's in the closet. Oh, well, if you knew where it was, why isn't the floor vacuumed? Well, perhaps because I'm trying to make a huge radio career, and vacuuming really didn't fit into that.
Patrice, this is where Anthony blanks out for about 10 minutes.
Just
sit back and enjoy.
Oh, boy.
Don't look at him in the eye.
I never knew what I was coming home to. This was it. I would come home, and Opie would drop me off, and he's like, so, what's going on? And I'd go to Opie, I go, who knows? Mixed bag.
Do you remember the times I would pull up to your house, and you'd go, no? And we would drive around a little bit because you weren't ready to go home.
Yeah, because some days would be, well, you forgot where the vacuum is, huh? And I'd be like, no. And then other days, I'd drive up and like I was really into playing Half-Life, this game Half-Life, during that time, and I was trying to beat the game, and I was just psyched to play it. And we'd pull up, and I didn't know if it was going to be Angry Wife or not. You know, where's the vacuum? Why didn't you do this? Get Catbox. And then I'd pull up one day, and all of a sudden, I'd look in, and it would look like Carrie's house after she walked home from the prom. Just candles everywhere.
Oh, candle night was always a treat.
Candle night, and I'd be like, oh, I guess she's feeling amorous. This is great because I'm feeling nothing for this woman. And I go in, and all I'm thinking is,
I forgot about candle night.
All I'm thinking is, but I have to turn off the power generator downstairs to get the mob that I got. There's going to be guys, soldiers parachuting down. I got to shoot them so I could get through and get the formula to the professor. All I'm thinking is Half-Life games.
Did she hit you?
What? Dude,
I don't even want to look.
She might as well have. No, she never did. I'll be honest.
Was you an abused husband?
I was mentally abused. I felt mentally abused.
I just want to know, like, when you come home from being a radio personality, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, did you forget the vacuum? The reason I asked did she hit you is goes, yeah, bitch, I did forget where the vacuum was. And what would happen after you said go fuck yourself?
There would be hours of misery, arguing, and shit. Like, I would have to plan out what time it was as to how much balls I could have to answer back. There was like, if it was coming up late and I knew I had to go to sleep, she came up with some shit, I knew I couldn't answer back, or else it would be 3, 4 in the morning with her hovering over me. Yeah, you try to fucking sleep, you motherfucker, and this, and I couldn't do that because I had to go to sleep. So
how many years did you deal with that?
9 years.
How many years during the radio did you deal with that?
Let's see, all of Boston, and I don't know, maybe a year and a half in New York. Yeah, probably a year in New York.
So about 4 of the 9 or 4 to 10 years?
No, closer to 6 years, man. Because then we had the BAB time.
See, but I was a pretty beaten guy. Like when I got married to her, I wasn't radio star. I was fucking tin knocker construction worker guy.
He was Chris Daltrey.
Yeah. And
now,
she was.
Actually, was it American Idol? Was this like your American Idol that kind of you go, bitch, I'm a winner. I'm done with you.
Phew, the second I started making a little cake, get me a girl with the age teen. Something teen. That's what I want.
Are you fucking serious?
Partially. No, I was
not with
miserable.
the teen thing.
No, I'm serious about that.
We all went there, but it's
By the way,
I like I said, I got married. I was in construction, so she's tending bar to make some money. I'm working construction. I got like fucking credit card debt up the ass, and it was that was the deal. There was a lot of drinking going on, bump
so
parties.
When did you have the epiphany that you weren't a loser anymore?
I guess after Boston. When I came to New York, I'm like, something? I really don't need to take this shit anymore. Because it was just taking shit. Dude, taking shit.
Now, can you give me one day of, like, the day that you found out that, fuck this bitch, right? Can you give me what you said the day you, how'd you finally get rid of her?
Oh, that was, yeah, I'm not getting rid of my girlfriend.
Oh, you had a bitch on the side.
Of course.
And she knew about it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Of course she did.
Oh,
but she just wanted to hang with you and...
You might want to Google Anthony's name. For the full story, Google Anthony's name.
When you first met her, to get to that point of I love you and marry you, there was a good person there at some point.
No, it wasn't really an I love you, I marry you thing. It was more of a...
told the story.
It was more of a...
She was never really a person that you really loved like that?
I would never have married a girl like this.
It's one of the saddest stories.
It was.
I'm not even kidding. This is where I get uncomfortable.
It was. I'm creeping up on 30 years old. I got to become like, and everywhere I went, I still felt like a kid. Like I'd go to the bar. It was
your way of being a man.
To the bar my mother worked at, and they're like, "Hey, it's Rosie's kid. Buy Rosie's kid a drink or something."
You're 32.
Yeah. Like I was just turning 30, and it was like I'm still a fucking like a kid at work. I had a shitty job, and it was, I was the kid there. Never treated like an adult. Never knew how to be an adult or, anything.
So where'd you meet the bitch?
So I thought, let's see, she was, like, banging my brother for a while, and then...
Just a bitch that was around?
Yeah, around at the bars and stuff, and then we hooked up, and I don't know, we kind of hit it off and shit.
And you said, will you marry me? And she goes, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to get fucking married?
It was like over a lot of Jack Daniels and Captain Morgan, Oh, it was just, always, I was always
a lot of
drinking.
medication.
I was always drinking.
Never good fucking, never really great
and
anything.
Thought, it was just back then what it was. My whole life back then was just a clusterfuck of, like, being in a place and wanting to be somewhere completely different. I was working construction knowing damn well this wasn't what I should be doing. I knew then, before I even met Opie, I was like, I want to do radio. I want to be on the radio. How does a construction worker get into fucking radio?
You saved this nigga's life.
Oh.
Yeah, he knows it.
And then when we got the offer to go to Boston, I'd said this before, I was making like $29,000 a year knocking tin. And the offer to go up to Boston and do radio was $27,500.
A year?
A year. Oh, believe me, there's shit in radio when you first get started. So it was less than I was making knocking tin in construction. And you call them up and tell them you want to make at least what you're making now, or no, we can't do it. We got credit card bills and and I'm like,
this is wifey.
I'm like, you don't understand. Shit. This is the chance of a lifetime. If I fall on my ass, like if we do well, this 27.5 ain't gonna. Don't worry about it. And if I fall on my ass, I'll go back to, they'll hold my job there in Apollo Air Conditioning.
Let me explain this. You could find 1,027.5 jobs.
Yeah, believe me.
1 million.
I could get the one I had. They would invite me back.
You can't find opportunities like that. They say it all the time. Opportunities come once in a lifetime, blah, blah, blah. That was the opportunity for both of us.
Did you pull his coat to let him know, look, this is bad money now, but dude, here's the potential.
I didn't care. Within 6 months, I think, like she was bitching about the 27. Within 6 months, I think I was making 35. which was,
Dad bumped
to
you
me
up already.
back then, to me was like, oof, amazing. Knocking tin, I never would have made that doing what I was doing. So it worked out.
Now what is the difference now between you now? Like, could you think you could ever be in a position? You think your girl now could turn you into old Anthony? Like, if she decided to just
no. First of all,
be an asshole.
She ain't that girl.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
That's for
hypothetically,
sure. My wife was
she
one
really
in a million.
If you met a chick, do you think potentially you can be the guy that could come home and she
never?
Go, where's the boat at? She just ups her game in terms of like, motherfucker, why don't we have 4 cars, asshole?
I will never again be that guy. Never.
And you think you changed just because of the what the radio gave you, like that confidence?
A little bit of everything. Getting older.
I completely.
Life experiences.
Completely believe him.
Just things. Completely. I ain't that guy anymore. I just don't take shit. I'm very diplomatic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a lot of shit, but I'll fight back with diplomacy.
Mm-hmm.
But then I cross a line and it's over, Johnny. I swear to God, it just explodes. Not in like violence, not physical violence, but I will just boink, shut off. I give a fuck you or a that's it, and I leave the situation.
You're not saying anything crazy there. I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
They'll take the shit, and then finally done.
But my line has also gotten a little closer to me. I don't take as much shit as I used to.
Okay,
I used to just fucking
We got to wrap up because we got to take a break, Derek, and the guys got to catch up. Is that all right?
On Mershals.
So did he answer your question? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know what it was.
Punk motherfuckers.
Always brings me back. Oh, you see, you know something? You black guys, you act like you got all your women in order. Watch that scene from fucking Reservoir Dogs when they're all talking about how black guys treat their women. And it's like, but when they get home, their bitches put them in their fucking place.
Put super glue on their dick.
Hey, put that wacko glue on.
I was there, too, though. I was there. I just learned earlier. I was all goofy earlier.
Yeah.
It is what it is. See, I learned how to deal with people.
It's just an honesty. I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered with phoniness.
Yes, you can be bothered. You can be, but
no, I can't.
You know what you are? You're like me with girls. I'll take the chance of ruining a relationship just in case she's trying to get out of pocket, So it might be wrong and it might be harsh, but it's better than if I'd rather be wrong.
You'd rather throw away a potential good relationship with a girl than I think she's trying to get into my pocket or.
So he doesn't know exactly when someone's being phony. Mm-hmm. He just goes, you know what? I'm sensing it and I'm gonna act on it even if the guy ain't phony.
I used to be a really nice guy and very innocent. Growing up, I never missed curfew, and I got the A's in school, and everyone, and it got me nowhere.
The A's.
Somebody took advantage of it.
A's.
But here's what you do that
people were taking advantage of me. Seriously, most of my radio career, by the way, too. People took advantage of me, made me work Christmas and all this stuff year after year, and I just sat there and took it. All right, whatever you want.
See the profile?
Yeah.
It's pain and suffering.
And then, absolutely. And then one day I said, you know what? F this.
We're totally different people, but I went through like the same thing too. I
Yours was dumbness.
No, mine was just, I don't know. I just wanted to avoid confrontation. So I would get stepped on instead of having to confront something.
Now you super confronting.
I'm super.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And I'm with Anthony on that too. I never confronted people.
Yeah. I still, to this day, if I see myself getting stepped on, I'll try at the beginning to handle it with diplomacy. I will try to be diplomatic. Opie, shock and awe, will just break out the nukes and
hold on, this is where it changed, by the way. It was when we went to Boston, and I knew Aunt and I had something, and they were still just getting in my way.
We were just being squatted upon.
I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this, and I changed on a dime that day.
Yeah.
That day.
Schizo-like.
And I've never looked back.
That's the same thing with a fat man, a fat kid who liked women.
Oh, boy.
And who was very nice.
And what was his name?
His name was Little Tracy. and who used to write poems and used to give up and used to say, will you go to this thing with me? And girls would go, beat it, fat boy. So it's the same thing that once I decided, you know what? I'm going to take a L. That's what you decide. You're going to start taking a loss rather take a loss than to sit there and have that warped kind of bent over feeling. You know what I'm saying? Where your soul looks like Jimmy. Like it's like the way Jimmy looks. That's how your inner soul is. A little bent up, funny looking man.
Is that a compliment?
That's what happened. But that's what happened to me. When you think I'm hard with women, that's the same thing that happened to Opie.
I think
same thing that happened to you.
I think you're crazy hard with women.
Yeah. Bird in Jersey,
but I
really
understand
fast.
where it's coming from.